Hello, everybody. This is Deri and Colin from Honeycomb Consulting Skills Training. We're here for another Live for Five. And today we thought we'd talk about this question. Does sales training only work once everyone is aligned on your proposition? And I want to give a shout out to our friend Luke Smeyers, who prompted this post. He posted something on LinkedIn this morning where he essentially asserted that sales training is a waste of time until you've got everyone aligned on your proposition. And I thought, I don't agree with that. So we're actually doing a live session with Luke and Rob Garner in the second week of January. And maybe we'll dig into that question with him in person. Then if you want to check that out, head to honeycombps.co.uk and sign up for the webinar. But we thought we'd just have a little chat about it today as well. So Colin, when you see this question, what's your initial reaction to it?
But it actually reminded me, and as did Luke Smeyers' post, around one of the first lessons I really had informally in sales back in my early consulting career at PwC. I spent quite a lot of time with a couple of colleagues. When things are difficult, when we're delivering work, we managed to create a bit of time, side of the desk stuff, to work on value propositions and develop and kind of refine a new one. And I remember inviting one of our partners to a session to come and talk about it, looking to get their endorsement and support into it. And he said no, and in a kind of a blunt way. And I was
like he wouldn't even come to the session.
Yeah, a little bit blunt. And of course, he said, "Look, let me explain." So that I could easily fill my day, and in fact my week, with internal meetings about value propositions. The ones I'm interested in are with clients. Right? If you invite me to a client meeting, I'll be there with bells on. Right? And what he was actually helping me with is this kind of mindset point of, we need to start with client need, and I'd much rather, if you can create some time, I'd much rather you spend it just trying to have any kind of conversation with a client and just trying to listen and ask great questions. And that's how we'll best refine our value propositions, is to hear firsthand what they're struggling with.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. The other side I've seen, and I'm not suggesting this was true of you at PwC, was in some of our training this year. I mean, we must have trained 20 odd consulting teams on sales mindset, sales habits, sales behaviors this year. And what we see sometimes in the coaching calls that follow our training is that there's people that are hiding behind the proposition development piece. Like, I'm not quite ready to put myself out on LinkedIn and share thinking because I'm still refining my proposition. I'm not quite ready to go and have some conversations. I'm still refining my proposition. And I would 100% agree with Luke that a crystal clear, precise proposition is absolutely critical. And if you're trying to get to a team-centered, collective approach to sales, it's absolutely critical that everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. But I also see it being a bit of an excuse that people use to not put themselves out there when they've got a concern with that. And the other side is, I think so much of what we see from a sales training perspective is helping people reframe sales positively, to think of it as not something that is cringy, that they're not pushy, that they're not trying to get something from somebody, but actually they're trying to find situations where they can help somebody with a problem. And consultants love helping people. It's a big part of the reason that we all work in consulting. And that mindset shift enables good conversations, which then enable you to figure out what your proposition is. So my take on this is that the individual sales capability and mindset shift is necessary to get aligned on a proposition.
Yeah, look, we can actually absolutely work on these things in parallel. I mean, I've experienced the same thing recently in training cohorts. I even had one person say to me, very similar to you, like, I can't go and have conversations because we're still working on the value propositions in the background. And I agree. For me, it's a bit of a strong indicator around mindset and positivity. So yes, absolutely, we fully agree that we need to create real clarity on value proposition aligned to client pain and problems that it's seeking to solve. But you can have very, very good conversations with a 70% understanding of that. And what's really important, perhaps it depends a little bit on who we're training and where they are in their career in their organization. Getting people into that mindset of just being prepared and ready to open up broad conversations, go in the direction the client wants to go in, is the kind of habit and skill we want to build with people quite early in their careers. And we don't want to wait, as you say, until everything is perfect from a proposition definition perspective.
maybe it comes down to like what is the nature of sales training. Like if sales training boils down to defining personas and then trying to think about messaging to those personas, it's more in the kind of marketing space. Or if it's about negotiation tactics or particular sales frameworks, then yeah, I can totally see how that stuff can fall very flat if your firm isn't in a place where everybody is curious about clients, is geared up to ask good questions, to listen really carefully, and to shape and understand the problems that those clients have. So maybe it's just that our flavor of sales training is a bit different, and that we're really helping people shift into that mindset that then leads to refining propositions.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of the truth. Yeah.
So we're at 6 minutes. We live for 5. We never make it in 5 minutes, but we don't want
One
to
day we
will. Luke, thank you for the post this morning. Very thought provoking. Triggered a lot of discussion internally for us, and I think we'll help other people think through this type of stuff as well. Very much looking forward to picking up with Luke and Rob in January and talking about this type of stuff. If you have a little look up in the top corner here, the QR code, that will take you through to all of the free resources that we put out through Honeycomb Consulting Skills Training. So please do sign up to our mailing lists, and then you'll get notification of everything that we're putting out. Colin, thank you very much. This might be our last live for 5 before Christmas, so have a great break, everybody that's taken some time off, and we will look forward to picking up with you in the new year.
See you in the new year.